when I watch Jamie do when I watch Jamie produce
Mm.
and he's doing all that stuff and he tries to show me that stuff, man, it honestly goes over my head.
Yeah, hey.
Even how he can
Yeah.
hear things, like when things are off a little bit and he'll just zoom in and then like cut it up, put it back, and I'm just like,
Yes.
man, I don't, because like you have to have an ear for that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is like I'd say I got the ear for it, but like if you're in a room with like say a producer and a rapper, you usually speak two different languages. You know what I mean? You'd be like,
Right.
yo, I want it to echo a little bit. I want it to be
Right.
like this, like make it hollow, and then the producer's gonna look at you all weird and be like, "You mean reverb, bro?" Like, you know what I mean? Because like you guys are just speaking two different languages and stuff. But once you get like a good producer, good rapper in the room that both understand just music in general, you can create some pretty dope shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did the music transition into hip hop, into rapping?
So I'd say like, man, my first rap song that I like ever heard that stuck with me was like shout out Sugar Hill Gang, man, Rapper's Delight. Like that's an old school ass song. And then LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out. Those are like the two first rap songs I heard where I was like, yo, what is this? You know what I mean? And then as I got older, I did a little bit of breakdancing for 2 years and stuff. So
Dang, you
yeah,
have done everything.
a little bit of it all, you know? But yeah, I did breakdance for 2 years, got even more into hip hop then, you know what I mean? And then grade 6 came around and I had an older homie, shout out and rest in peace, my big brother, Hayes. He put me on to like actually recording music and stuff like that. Like my dad had set up at home and stuff like that, but you know, he's making like blues and rock and country music and stuff. But Hayes also had a recording set up and he was like, yo, come over, let's record some stuff. So I started dabbling there, asked dad, hey, can I have some of your equipment? You know, put a little recording setup in my room. And then Hayes came over one day and I recorded my first song. I used to go under the name Kilo when I was like in grade 6. And I recorded my first song, released it, and then had people laughing and clowning on me at school, but also had, all my friends and everybody that like, that fucked with me that was like, yo, this is dope. Keep going. Like, you got a little talent going on and stuff. So we'd release things, me and Hayes, and then our other homie, shout out James McGowan. We'd all release music together and stuff like that. And then as time went on, linked up with my homie Stilly. He's one of the founding member of Goontown. So that was in 2019, right before COVID hit type thing. Linked up with him, went, split some studio time. We both dropped projects and stuff. And then it's just been off to the races ever since, man.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
So where did Goontown come from?
So Goontown comes from Saskatoon, Toontown. You know what I mean? Everybody calls it Toontown. There's other names for it and stuff, but like it's just a play on Toontown, Goontown, man. Everybody around here depends on what walk of life you're from and stuff, but there's parts of the city and stuff where there's definitely a lot of goons. There's definitely a lot of people that are up to no good. You know what I mean? So
They're mostly at the Colonial.
can't be talking about my old stomping grounds like that, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'll play. Yeah, exactly that. Places like Colonial and stuff where people like that hang around, man. Yeah, there's some goons in Saskatoon.
That's good, man. I think like from what I've seen in Saskatoon, people are generally like hit or miss.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's but I feel like for you, you're very unique. Like you're the way you rap well, like, you're very good. But
Thank
you have
you.
like that gritty style and
Yeah.
that gritty sound, and it does sound like old school,
Yeah.
and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And just because of like the tone of your voice too, you like project and you speak clearly, and I can like hear the emphasis in your voice when you say
Yeah.
it, which I feel like a lot of people, they have trouble doing that.
And like we're on a podcast, so like shout out everybody around worldwide listening and stuff that like can't see our faces. Like we're in Saskatchewan, you know what I mean? So it's like it's farmers and that kind of lifestyle. And like I'm 6'4" and black, so I stick out like a fucking sore thumb. And you know, sound, look, talk, and act different than like a lot of people around here and stuff. So it's like, yeah, that's probably where a lot of that comes from. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, just don't sound like everybody else that's trying to rap around here. You know
Very
what I mean?
JJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we definitely come from that '90s, that boom bap, that hip hop sound. You know, like I barely like to call myself a rapper. It's like I rap, you know what I mean? But like I'm hip hop. I'm an MC. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good. So you grew up in Saskatoon
Yeah,
since you were
like
a kid?
since I was 6, and like not directly in Saskatoon. I lived in like a real small town, bro. I'm talking when I moved there, 250 people, bro, in Van Square, like 10 minutes right
Okay.
outside the city, and then lived there till I was probably like 18 or something, like you know what I mean, out of high school, and then move into the city and stuff, and
Okay.
yeah,
So what keeps you making music here where that this industry isn't as big here
it's a
as it
very good
is
question.
maybe other places?
That's a really good question because it's like right now, I'd say like it used to be like, oh, Saskatoon was my roots, you know what I mean? Like this is where like this is the place that raised me and stuff. But like nowadays it's like I've got 2 children, and one of them is from a prior relationship than my current girlfriend. So to be able to move would be, you know what I mean, there's a lot of moving
Right.
pieces there that would have to all fall into the right place to make that happen and stuff. And like don't want to get into that too much and stuff, but you know, I do have eyes set on other places, you know what I mean, because there's a cap here, like as far as like how big you could get, and like you could just take all the control and put it in your own hands, which is something we've been trying to do ourselves, right? Throw our own shows, bring our own acts and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, there's a cap, and like we'd love to grow Saskatoon and grow what Saskatoon has to offer, but I'm also not trying to like stay under the cap that I see there sometimes, you know what I mean? I'd like to be
Right.
able to branch out into other places with different ways of thinking, people from different walks of life who have different understandings of the way that like life should be lived and stuff. Yeah, I want that influence on myself and on my children and stuff.
What's like if you could snap your fingers and be somewhere, where do you think that would be?
Realistically, with everything that goes on in the world, and like maybe Western Canada is not the greatest place to be financially all the time due to the politics and stuff, but I'd probably say BC. It's safe, it's warm, you've got that summer feel, but like you
Mm.
don't have to be in Cali under United States law.
Right,
Like
right, right.
I think that might be one of the places that I could see myself being pretty happy, see my family enjoying.
Do you go out there much?
I get out there sometimes. We've done a couple shows out there too and stuff. Yeah.
Your last tour, what did you make it out there?
The last one was all Alberta and Saskatchewan. The one before that, we did Kamloops, Chilliwack,
Nice.
Saskatoon. Yeah. And then I guess we did have one in between there where we did what was that? Calgary. That one was Lloyd, Edmonton, Saskatoon, and then the last one we just did was Saskatoon, Calgary, Edmonton. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I I used to live in Kamloops.
You used to live in Kamloops.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
Man, I lived everywhere, dude. My mom was a gypsy. She just
Oh,
moved every couple years. So I lived in Alberta, Manitoba,
yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Which
I
one did you like best?
I had Kamloops. That was
Kamloops?
probably my favorite place.
Yeah.
It was just chill there, man. Like it's just like a different vibe in BC. Like it's
Kamloops treated us good, man. We were out there and out and about the city till probably 6 a.m. after that show, man. They treated us real
yeah,
good out there. Yeah.
it's cool. It's a cool city too because it's like spread out and it kind of like goes up the mountain.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's like sections of the city, and it's just like it's not that big like population wise, but it seems so
Hmm.
big because it's so like
It's like
stretched.
a little college city, hey?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
college town or whatever.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It was my, and everyone there just skateboards and snowboards,
Yeah,
and they're just
yeah.
chill and hacky sack.
A lot of people on the back of bikes and stuff, like while we were
Yeah,
there and stuff. Yeah, it was definitely a nice vibe there.
cool, man. That's wicked. And my mom's actually in Chilliwack right now,
Oh, okay, yeah. That was the
so
other, yeah, that was the other stop while we were there. Yeah,
that's wicked, man.
yeah.
So okay, one thing I wanted to ask you too was, how long have you been training martial arts?
Uh, like I did.
'Cause I think that's where I originally met
Yeah,
you.
that
Was
is
just at
where
the
we met.
gym
Yeah,
before I
that
even
is
knew you
where we
did
met.
music.
Yeah, shout out Alliance Training
Yeah,
Center, man. Yeah, we, or I guess I did like 3 years of Taekwondo when I was like preteens kind of thing, and then I did a couple like just like on and off boxing classes and stuff here and there, and like maybe a little bit of kickboxing. And then I showed up and went to Alliance there for, I don't know, that was probably a good half a year I was in there with you guys, or maybe a little bit more and stuff, where I was just consistently in there, and that was probably 2-3 days a week and stuff. And you guys kick ass in there, bro. I'll say
yeah,
that. Holy shit.
that's legit, man. Those guys
Yeah.
are.
I got battered around and got a good workout in.
That's a humbling place to be.
Yeah. Bro, and I was working 8 or 10 hours a day at this factory or whatever, just manual labor, and then would go just get my ass beat for a couple hours after work. Like, yeah,
Just
no big
already
deal.
beat up, and then you
Yeah.
just go get beat up some more.
But like respect, man. There's guys in there in their 40s that are in there that are, like, yeah, same thing. They'll work a full day and then go get a round of Muay Thai and then an hour of rolling in on the mats and stuff. It's crazy to me.
It's crazy.
Built different.
Yeah, and now you're a business owner.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about that, because that's where my mind is like, I love business. I love building business. I love networking of business. I love like growing and just like having control of something and watching it grow.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah. And you guys have done well at that. Clearly we're sitting in a beautiful building here that you guys have grown, you know what I
Thank you,
mean?
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so we own a store down on Idlewild Drive, 250 Idlewild Drive North, Saskatoon. We're called Modern Day Cannabis. So it's me and 4 friends. We started it about a year and a half ago. So, and it's been a longer time than that coming. Like, like all the back end paperwork before we had the building 7 months prior to, well, I think longer than 7 months, but yeah, about 7 months prior to opening the doors, where we were doing our own construction on the building and stuff like that. So like all of this it's homegrown, you know what I mean? Like a lot of things in Saskatchewan are, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, this is another one of those things where it was homegrown by us, just a couple friends and stuff who had a vision.
And with I guess in Saskatchewan with, I guess, cannabis,
Mm-hmm.
you had to bid, right? And you got,
No,
or
so originally, I believe, originally it was a lottery
right,
where names were drew out of a hat, and to my understanding, you were paid to be put in said hat. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was like a lottery bid, just to make it in quotations fair.
right,
You
right,
know what I
right.
mean? So, yeah, there was a couple people that were rewarded licenses right off the bat. And then we got into it. Let me say legalization would have been 5 years, 4 years deep when we hit the block. Yeah. So there
Okay,
had been some, like at the beginning, rules, regulations were like super, super tight. And don't get me wrong, they still are. But, they've been trying to make changes to make things a little bit better. It's just, change sometimes takes time. So, yeah, bearing that storm as owners and stuff sometimes. And I know it's really the suppliers, the growers and the suppliers and those kind of guys are the ones that are really feeling everything, not so much ourselves on the retail side. The retail side is tight knit, it's competitive, but
Right.
yeah, my heart goes out to those guys more at the top that are paying the cannabis duty tax and stuff like that.
Mm. So what did you like when you think about grinding in business and grinding in music,
Hmm.
what are some like similarities there? Like why do you feel like you're able to do that when a lot of people they crumble
Mm.
separately, like people who try music, they find out what it's about and then they fall off, it's people who
Yeah.
open businesses. I think the failure rate is like 75 to 85% of
Yeah, it's
businesses
like
fail.
most small businesses fail within their
So where do
first
you
two
think you're
years.
different in that, where you're able to kind of just keep going, keep grinding?
It's I think it's like a combo of like, being smart. I'm not the most book smart person there is, you know what I mean? I can hold my own, but like, it's just like a combination of a little bit of like book smarts, street smarts, like just being in general like, intelligent in the moves that you're making, and then and timing. And then the other part of it is straight like resilience, you know what I
Mm,
mean? Like just same thing in the fighting world. Like it's like how many times can you get knocked down and get your ass back up? You know what I mean? I think that's really what separates the people, because you can have like the best business plan that you want. You know what I mean? You can have the best idea, the best invention, whatever it may be. But if you don't have like the get up and go, especially like when times get hard, when maybe people are like, yo, that's not the greatest invention. Matter of fact, it's the worst one I've seen. You know what I
mm,
mean? It's the determination to like keep going and to get back up and to get around those roadblocks and stuff like that. I think a lot of people, and like just due to, can be stress, can be life, can be like how you were raised or how you live and stuff like that. But a lot of people crumble under that kind of pressure and stuff. But it's the people that keep going forward. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Pressure makes diamonds. So like you got to go through the pressure first.
So why do you think, where do you think that came from for you? Because I feel like people like hate failing.
Yeah.
They hate it, but
Yeah.
like you kind of have to fail a bunch of times. Like even today, I still fail a lot,
Oh yeah. Same here,
but
brother.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with it now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like dang, but like you just keep going, and so for you, like how did you find that like balance, like that healthy relationship with failing?
I want to say that it does stem back even from like maybe like sports and martial arts and that kind of thing at a young age, where it's like, like maybe like you got like a broken toe, but like or like, something fractured, and it's like, well, I'm still supposed to go train, or like it. I think it's a lot of that, and probably a lot of like my dad's like a rolling stone sometimes, you know what I mean? Like my dad does his thing, and like he was away playing a lot, like gigging and stuff like that, doing his music and stuff like that growing up. He provided for the household, he worked jobs and stuff my whole life and stuff, but there was times where he was on the road gigging and stuff. So it's like he tried to instill within me that it's like, yeah, those tough moments, you know what I mean? Like you're not always going to have somebody there to like get you back up and stuff like that. You're going to have to, there's going to be moments as a man that you're going to be faced with in your life where you have to pick yourself back up, and you got to keep going and stuff like that. And like, I'm not always going to be here to do it for you and stuff. And you go through enough of those moments, you get knocked down enough times, whether it be, in the ring, whether it be on the street, whether it be, skateboarding, and you hit the ground and you keep getting back up, you do it enough times and it becomes like second nature, you know what I
Mm,
mean? And like failure doesn't mean like, oh, I tried and I couldn't do it. Failure at this point is just like not trying it, you know what I mean?
that's
Start to
awesome.
hold yourself to that kind of standard,
It's like a good visual, because like when I think of skateboarders, they're always like falling and they just like roll and then get back up and keep going, or they just brush themselves off.
Yeah.
I When I lived in Kamloops, everyone skateboarded, So
Yeah, that was
it
the
just took
thing.
me back to that. Everyone just like I like fell a couple times and I was just like, this is not for me.
And then you end up fighting, bro. And then
I
you end up,
know, I
yeah,
know.
and then you end up boxing.
Yeah, I feel like with boxing, I have a lot of control. You know,
Okay.
like I feel like I don't know, like maybe it's just because I did it for so long, so I can kind of see things. But I like to me, it's not that dangerous.
Man, skateboard is kind of like, and like anybody who's skateboarded I know can attest to this. When you're trying to like learn a new trick or do something wild, like skateboarding is kind of like a go big or go home type thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, you get one attempt at it and like you might lose a couple limbs doing it, but like if you want to land it, you got to try it, you know?
yeah. Did you skateboarded?
Mm. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. That was another big love of mine growing up and stuff, was skateboarding and stuff. Yeah. Shout out Stilly, one of the other group members in Goontown, man. He's a much better skateboarder than I am, man. He could skate vert, he could skate
Oh,
street. Me, I
dang.
was just like a street skater around the shitty streets of Vanskoy.
That's
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the best memories, like growing up around there, man. Looking back on it, is we had some of the older guys, and like, man, those guys were wild. Like, I'm talking, like, I grew up watching those guys. Like, we made dirt ramps and those guys were jumping tumbleweeds covered in gasoline on fire. Those guys were jumping each other's cars and stuff once their like older brothers turned 16. And yeah, bro, those guys would always get fucking, those guys would always get wild, bro. I lost the point to my story though, but like it's gonna come back to me. And shout out people who know me, bro. I got crazy ADHD. I got crazy ADHD, and I ain't even
oh,
smoked before this, bro.
man, it's how many times that's happened on this since I've been doing a
Yeah,
podcast. Everyone will just be like, "Oh, I forgot what I was
you
getting
get to.
at."
It's the same
You
way
know,
when you're
I
in the garage
gotcha.
with the buddies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You get to tell
Ex-
the stories, and like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
you got me
it's
laughing and stuff.
and like it's like a good format too because it's just like chill and we just talk and man, we
See,
lose it, we bring it back.
See, this is ADHD because I already got it back. As soon as you said bring it back, it came right back, man. I was saying, shout out the guys who built. They all got together, all those wild boys in our town and stuff, who were hitting all the ramps and shit, and they built a couple half pipes in the town and stuff. So like me, all my younger buddies and stuff, because they were older. Yeah, they would all let us on the half pipes and stuff like that. They get mad when we'd wreck them because like younger kids, they try to bring their BMX bikes on like
Oh
some
yeah.
wooden homemade half pipes and stuff. But yeah, man, they built those, and we had like more summers than I can count, bro, with both hands, that we'd all chill out on those half pipes, even writing raps sometimes as we got
Oh
older and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's good times.
It's it's cool to have like to see your dad
Hmm.
kind of grind it out like that
Yeah,
and to kind of have that, like that base of like that's just normal to you,
yeah,
because I'm sure your dad had the same thing, with music, like
yeah,
up down,
exactly that.
and it's just like, okay, that's how it's supposed to be, right? Or it just made it easier, I bet, for you.
Yeah,
Like,
like you did get to see that. Like I remember when they all had to like, they all scrape together money to put an album, to do a whole album release party, to get the CD. Like I remember seeing boxes of Long Shot was what their band was called at the time and stuff. And I remember seeing boxes of Long Shot CDs printed up and stuff at the house and stuff. And like, like my dad was really doing that stuff that like, hip hoppers grew up on, like selling mixtapes out of the trunk of a vehicle, selling mixtapes at album release parties and stuff. Like he was going through that big music grind, that you really got to go through if you want to make it anywhere.
that's wild, man. That's such like I just had another guy on here a couple weeks ago. But he's a country
Oh yeah.
kind of like country rock,
Yeah.
and just like I guess for you when you're on your tours, because this is what we were talking about, the actual tours,
Mm.
and like when you're first starting, like you're obviously driving yourself, You're bringing your own
Yeah.
equipment. You're doing the tests. You're freaking. You got all these things that you got to plan for. How stressful does that get for you?
So like as rappers, like couple of these tours were organized by a friend of ours, so like we didn't even have to bring a mic, you know what I mean?
Mm,
But you know, it's we're booking our own Airbnbs, we're all splitting gas, we're taking personal vehicles. The first tour that we went on, we swapped vehicles with a homie of ours, one of the other store owners who had a big Dodge Caravan, so we swapped that out for one of our vehicles and stuff. He got to drive around in a Benz for a week, and then we got
nice.
crammed into a fucking Dodge Caravan, three guys, you know, for
Heck yeah.
a 15-hour trip. Uh, but yeah, no, it's like it really is a grind. You know what I mean? Because like you see guys that are on like a big ass tour bus, or you know what I mean, they got the Sprinter van, or they're in like, you know, the
Right.
Denali XL and shit like that, and then you know we're pulling up in the Dodge Caravan. But like honestly, man, like we're just excited to be there, you know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah.
headline opener for Mercules, you know what I
Hmm.
mean, out in his hometowns, like his hometown of BC, you know what I mean. The crowd energy is insane, like 600 people screaming Goontown and stuff like that, you know what I mean. It's amazing. I wouldn't trade it for like basically anything, you know. Hard night in a van, or you know what I mean, or sleeping on a single bed in an Airbnb at 6'4". Like it doesn't matter, bro. The pros outweigh the cons so much, bro. When you're up there and people are screaming your name and shit like that, like
Yeah.
yeah, that energy is just unmatched.
So how do you think you guys vibe well together?
Oh man, I'd say like Goontown is like 2019. It was just me and Stilly. Now it's me, Stilly, and our boy Capo.
Hmm.
And Capo joined us about a year and a little bit ago, and he's done about, you know, half a dozen or so performances with us, maybe a little more. Done one of the tours with us, maybe two of them. Um, but he came out with us to BC. He wasn't rapping with us then, but he came out with us to BC. I also got to shout out Mitch, because at the time he was Kappa was doing our merch out there in BC. Now we've got Money Mitch on our team. He does all of our merch and stuff. Uh, he's the go-to guy. If you guys want to tap in with him, come on down to Modern Day. Check us out. We got all of our merch in there at the store too. Um, and like so when we first started, it was just me and Stilly, and then like Capo started kind of like was hanging around, you know, came to the shows and stuff, and like he was a good friend of my girlfriend Tori and stuff. That's how I was introduced to him. So kind of already had the okay there, you know what I mean? She's like, he's a cool guy and stuff. And then yeah, he started rapping with us here and there, kind of like just in the garage, homies type shit. Then he started writing, and then we were like, yeah, you got something here, man. And then he released some of his music. I want to say, was that 2 years ago that he dropped? A year and a half ago that he dropped. And then it's been the three of us ever since. So we've got a lot of new stuff coming up, like with the three of us and stuff. But like bread and butter at the beginning of it, me and Stilly, we had only really done like shows like locally around here, and now it's finally like expanding as we've added the more members, as we've kind of like increased our what's the word I'm looking for? Increased our efforts, you know what I
Right.
mean? More people got added. Now there's more friends looking at us. Now there's more followers and stuff. Like things just kind of keep going up slowly and slowly. Like it's a marathon, not a sprint, man. Nipsey
Right.
Hussle said that, and like that's one of my inspirations and stuff right there is Nipsey. So like yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and everybody that we got on the team is like in for the long haul kind of thing.
Do you plan on doing a tour in the States too at
We'd
some
like
point?
to, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, we linked up two of the tours that we did. Our boy, shout out Donald Baker, he put us on to two of these tours. He organized them, threw
Mm.
them himself and stuff. Again, like I was
DB.
saying before, yeah, bro, DB. Yeah, like I was saying before, it's good. Like can kind of put the power back into like our hands and stuff, like bringing our own shows, booking our own acts and stuff, you know, not leaving it up to like the promoters and
I
stuff.
agree.
That's a whole nother thing, those promoters and shit. But yeah, he organized 2 tours, and both of those tours were with Gringo, MC Gringo. Shout out him from Houston, and then the other tour was with J Zach. Shout out J
Mm,
Zach, and Gringo's based out of Houston, and he wants us to get out to the United States. He's got opportunity out there and shit. We have other people that, you know what I mean, trying to talk to us and stuff from out there and stuff, but like I'd say it's all like a financial thing, you know. We just got to make it all make sense and stuff. We've kind of got our eyes set on like some things that we want to be throwing ourselves here locally in the city, some shows, and then looking at possible cross Western Canada stuff that we're kind of
right.
planning. Can't say too much about it and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, but yeah, we've kind of got some things that'll probably take us across Western Canada. There's been talk about Ontario, Montreal too.
Cool.
I got family out in Ontario, out in Toronto and stuff. My sister and her kids live out there. Shout out my nephew Busy. He's doing his thing out in Toronto, man. Tap in, check his shit out on Instagram, bro. He's doing his thing, rapping now. He's a young guy, just 19, 20 type thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do some work together?
Yeah, I'd love to, man. I'd
Yeah,
love to. Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
Yeah. He's more on that the more auto tune, more kind of
Yeah,
like trap rap kind of thing, like you know the Toronto scene that they've got going on there and stuff. But like, I
and
fuck with that too.
yeah, and but the thing is like I feel like with how with your sound, like your
Mm-hmm.
sound kind of goes with everything,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Like
okay.
it's like you got like that deep freaking gritty cool ass voice, and I feel like that can go on anything,
I appreciate that.
you
No,
know.
I appreciate that because like we got another boy from the city here and shit. Flatline, like that's another thing that I'll get into. We got a studio downtown and stuff that our boy Devin Anderson, Gemstar, man. Shout out Gem, big time rapper around here, man. Local legend and stuff. Battle rap champion, multiple time over and stuff. Like that guy's a legend, and he started a studio with some friends called Infinite Studios downtown and stuff, not too far from our store. So we do a little bit of work out there, and friend of ours that does some engineering out of that studio, Flatline. He he kind of hit me and Jem up, and he's like, "Yo, I want you guys on this song and stuff." And I heard the beat, and I was like, "Bro, this is like real new school." And like, not a lot of people know that I like fuck with like new school music, like heavy. You know what I mean? Like trap beats and stuff.
Mm,
But like, my bread and butter is like old school and stuff. And he's like, "Bro, your voice on this, like, you know, do your thing on this. Like, I think we could get something here, and I want Jem on this." And then we put it together, and that one is out. I'm gonna get the name for you right here. But it came out fucking phenomenal, bro. And like, you know, I would have never. It's called Out Your Head. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that. But I would have never, you know, went into a studio and been like, yeah, this is the beat that I'm gonna come out doing. And then he puts me on it, and I'm like, yo, this is fucking fire. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like hearing you say that, it's like there is people that are like, yo, you should do a beat like this, you should do a beat like that. And it's like they're never beats that I would ever hear myself or want to put myself on. And like I think that's like the beauty of music, you know what I mean, is everybody's different taste, different flavor. They hear something that this and that, you know, could make something cool together and stuff, and I love that.
man, I heard somebody talking about like whatever you liked in high school,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much what you're gonna like forever.
Okay,
And that
okay.
style of music
That's
is what's
interesting.
gonna carry for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I think of like what I like in hip hop and what I like in rap, and like man, I always find myself going back to what I listened to in high school.
Yeah.
You know, like more than searching for new stuff, I'll just go back.
Well, you think about it. Anybody else that you've like listened to other than like who you were listening, like you got shown somebody, like, you know, you were shown an artist, no matter who the artist was at some point, you know, and then like once you've kind of got a basis of like what you like to listen to, then like it's easier to like, oh, this artist kind of sounds like them, or this artist makes music that is like them or has a message similar to them and stuff. So like, yeah, that makes sense. You kind of get an idea of your taste by the time you're in high school, and then everything after that is kind of just branched out from
Right.
there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
What I guess for you, talking about Nipsey Hussle, what other who were kind of like the big influences on you in when you were young?
As far as rap wise, I was thinking of this question because I knew you were probably going to ask it. So like Nas, bro, I've always held Nas in
Nice.
such high regard as far as like hip hop goes. So like definitely Nas, and then like one of the best, if not the best that I've ever heard spit is probably Cool G Rap.
Mm,
And then you got like you know Big B, that comes from my homie who's passed away, Big Hayes, like I was mentioning before. But like you know Big B comes from Big Hayes, Big L, Big Pun, Big E, like you know what I mean. It's just like a tribute to like a bunch of rappers that all kind of inspired me to rap when I was younger and whatnot. And then obviously you got to throw Wu-Tang Clan into the mix and stuff. I was a big Jay-Z fan growing up, but like you know what I mean, times change, music changes, you know what I mean? Like niggas in Paris isn't the same as fucking you know what I mean, anything that was on like Blueprint or
right.
Blueprint 2 or anything, like you know what I mean? It's a
Did you
different.
ever listen to Jay-Z back when he used to like rap fast?
Which what era are we talking
Like
here?
even
Like
before he was big, he used to like speed rap all the time.
no, no,
You know,
no,
and
I
actually
did.
Jamie showed me that.
Okay, word.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he showed me his music before he kind of blew up,
yeah.
and he was always doing like the double time, triple time kind of style. But then he doesn't do that no more.
He's always been a master of it, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's always been a master of it. That's why I have to hold him in such high regard. You know what I mean? Whether I'm like such a big fan or not. Like, bro, this is a very unpopular opinion, but like Eminem was somebody who like my whole life growing up, like Relapse. I listened to a lot of that shit. You know what I mean? Growing up, like I didn't really fuck with M ever really. Like I was a huge 50 Cent fan, so like
Mm.
it was hard to avoid M, you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? But I didn't really fuck with M all the time and stuff. And now I've grown like a huge appreciation for
Right.
him. Just becoming a rapper more myself, you know, trying to study the legends and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I grew a big appreciation for him in my as I got older. But
I think like when it comes to Eminem, in my experience with people, what I seen was like like it was kind of like what he was saying.
that yeah,
Like nobody
bro.
wanted to hear
Yeah.
that in their ear.
That's
You
what I'm
know, people
saying.
weren't like,
Like
"Oh, let's listen to Eminem talk about freaking this crazy stuff all the time," and it's just like not nonsense. Especially when he was young.
yeah, I'm listening to Nas, you know what I mean? Paint the most
Yeah,
vivid street
just a
picture of despair
just a
and
storyteller.
that you've ever heard, and then I'm hearing fart sounds over
Yeah,
top of, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
in the M verses and shit, and like to each his own, man. And it was that 2000s rage.
yeah, man. And but like honestly, one of my favorite songs of all time is "Patiently Waiting"
Yeah,
by
okay.
50
Yeah.
Cent and Eminem.
Yeah.
So good, man.
Yeah.
And those two together were always good.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. They're like 50 really didn't have a lot of skips like for me when I was listening
Yeah.
through the album. So like I heard M, you know, here and there and stuff, and like didn't want to skip his parts on those, you know.
Right.
Gatman and Robin, you know,
Yeah.
that was
That's
fire.
good, man. Even Jay-Z and Eminem, Renegade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that
But
was good.
that's cool, man. That's like that's old school stuff, man. Like that's like we're probably around the same age, eh? Like 34.
I
Oh,
just turned 30 in June here.
just 30.
Yeah, I just
Okay,
turned
okay.
30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we
I've
we
always
grew
been the
up.
baby of my group, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Of like my group of friends and shit. Yeah.
We probably grew up with pretty much the same music though.
Yeah, hell
You know,
yeah.
like the same eras, the same seasons of 50 Cent and Lil Wayne and all those
Oh
guys
yeah.
having their little. And now it seems like the last 15 years has just been Drake.
Yeah, bro.
You know, that
Man.
guy's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And that's a
Long
guy I
fucking
never got
time.
into, to be honest.
Like I'm gonna say this. I'm not a fan of Drake. I'm a fan of some Drake songs. You
Yeah,
know what
me
I mean?
too.
Big time. You know, like yeah. There's been classics and even more like chilling ones like passion fruit and stuff. Like even ones that are more like for the ladies and stuff. Something that you can vibe to with your girl. Like he makes good music here and there and
Mm,
stuff. Don't get me wrong.
that's cool. So outside of music, who are some people that have inspired you and that you look up to?
Ooh, outside of music, hey, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. I'm trying to think. Trying to think. Like growing up, like I've always been like huge LeBron James fan when I
Mm.
was a kid. I still am to this day. I'm wearing a Lakers hoodie right now. I hated Lakers when Kobe played for them, and
What?
I'm wearing Lakers right now because LeBron's on it. You know what I mean? Like shout out
I
Kobe, big time, bro. Like yeah, but
I almost ended this podcast.
no, big shout out Kobe and stuff, man. Yeah, but I just growing up, it was always LeBron and stuff, number 23 and shit.
What I like about LeBron is he just seems like a good dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like just like never in trouble, never on the news. He's
Same
just taking
same
care of his
lady since high
family.
school. Yeah,
Yeah,
got
just helping
a bunch of
people.
healthy, happy children and stuff
Yeah,
that are all
man.
doing well for themselves too. Like it's like, what do you got to hate on?
What do you what is success to you?
Uh, it's a tough question because it's like success to me is like stability and happiness. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like if everything's sustained and you don't have to, slave your life away to make ends meet and everybody around you's happy and healthy. Like everybody's got to go at some point. You can only be healthy for so long, but like as far as natural causes go, you know what I mean? As long as you're happy and healthy, I'd say that's what defines success. Like you don't have to have anything, you know what I mean? If you're happy living without a home to your name, you know what I mean, and just being a sentient being on the planet Earth, then like I think that's what happiness should be for you. You know what I mean? But if you need a private chef and you need the biggest house and you need this and you need a yacht, like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just 9 times out of 10 or like 8 times out of 10 maybe, I don't fucking know, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that like wealth, the way that like wealth on planet Earth has usually been accumulated has been through like war, real estate, owning things that other people don't own, you know what I mean, and exploiting that fact. So it's
mm,
like I don't really necessarily tie wealth to like success by any measure, you know what I mean?
right.
Like if wealth helps you take care of your family in the way that you so see fit, then like that's what's best for you. But like you could have no like not a dollar to your name, but if you have like all the seeds that you need to grow all the food that you would need forever on like a plot of land that you own, you know what I mean? Then like that's happiness for you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like you got everything you need. Like
yeah. I agree, man.
yeah.
Because it's so individual,
Yeah, it
you know.
is. It really is.
And
Depends on your worldview.
I feel like money is just like for one, it's a tool, and
Mm-hmm.
then like it really just like exponentiates who you are. So like if you're a good person, you can just be a gooder person, you know. And if you're a piece of shit, man, you're gonna be an even worse piece of shit,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not the deciding factor on happiness,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a lot of people who just get stuck in the like more, and they like miss out on everything else,
Yeah.
which is I don't know.
I'm a firm believer that like money can make you happy, but like money can't buy you happiness. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
money can increase. your levels that you're happy. You know what I mean? It can bring joy to you and stuff. But like if you're missing happiness and you have money, money can't bring you that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like happiness comes from like within, you know? It's not something that you can go out and purchase with money.
That's one, one time. Okay, Steve Harvey.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
One thing he said about money that I do think about now since I've heard it. He said something money can do is turn an emergency into just a bump in the road.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
You know, it's just something that's, like your vehicle breaks down. Maybe to somebody that's like an emergency. Now they
Mm-hmm.
can't get, but then to somebody else, it's just like, I'll just buy a new one
Yeah,
or get it fixed.
yeah.
And it's not a, it's just a inconvenience, minor inconvenience, and I think about that a lot.
And that's why I don't want to be so naive as to say like,
Yeah.
oh, money can't make you happy.
Yeah.
It's like fuck that, bro. Like there's a lot of things
Yeah.
that you can do that would make you a lot happier than you are right now if you had $1 million attached to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like,
Like it's just like the way our society is. It's the way it's run on money, and it's like you need it, and if you can have a little bit more, it makes life a little bit easier.
yeah. But like, don't get it twisted. Like, yeah, if you're empty, money can't fill that space. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like that comes from within. You know?
Yeah. So how do you, when now that you're, because you guys are your name's getting out there, people are starting to know who you are. Uh, how does that look for you, and how do you stay humble in that?
Like, I don't know. You see, like, you see a lot of crazy shit. Like, you got fans doing wild things, girls trying to do wild things at shows. You got, like we've signed shirts and shoes and CDs and like um like phrase the question again to me one more time. Like
So I guess like with, I guess, uh, people starting to know who you are,
like is it
and
how do we stay like
like humble, like how do you stay humble? How do you stay grounded? How do you not like, you know,
it comes from a place of like some of us anyways like involved in Goontown and like Millennium, our business, and you know what I mean, just like 345, that's the RM of that's district 345, the RM of Vanscoy, Pike Lake, Asquith, Delisle, like the small towns that we grew up in, like all of our like my crew anyways from like all those places, everybody's like um, everybody's hard workers, and everybody's like seen, I think, both sides of life, seen the like, okay, here's people who love and look out for you, and here's another side of the world where like everybody's ready to like kick you down and slime you out any way possible to make a buck, and you know what I mean, to get ahead and stuff like that. And when you come from when you've seen like both sides of the world, then you can almost put yourself in anybody's shoes like at any given moment. So it's like, I see a lot of people well off for themselves and roll up in a nice vehicle. And I don't know what they've been through, so I'm not here to speak on them or anything like that. But, somebody more like a disenfranchised person, less fortunate than them, might come up and ask them for some money. And it's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, like, how could you ever, almost offended that they asked them, you know what I mean? And then like people come up and might even ask us rude sometimes, like, bro, you got some change, bro? And it's like, yeah, like I got you, homie. Like I got, like, here you go. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to like not have a dollar in your pocket and you really need a fucking dollar. You know what I mean? And I know that like, and I try to carry myself in the universe like that I know that like every action that you do in the universe has a, like, there's a cause and effect to everything that happens in the universe. So like, telling somebody to fuck off when they ask for that dollar. Maybe the next person they don't even ask. You know what I mean? Maybe the next person are just like, fuck the world. Like this person just pissed me off. I'm gonna rob them. I'm not saying that's your fault that you instigated that, but I'm just saying that everything you do has a cause and effect. If I'm nice to one person, I'm hoping that maybe that they come across somebody and now they're in a good mood and they're gonna be nice to them and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Because it's like, God forbid it's ever my child that's asking you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and if it is, I fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
just saying that. Like it's never gonna be my child asking, but like God forbid, bro, it's anybody's child asking you, and you just have the nerve to be like, "Yo, go fuck off." And it's like, what if that was your child, man? What if that was
Yeah.
you? You know what I mean? And I think every single moment, every one of us that's involved in my crew puts ourselves in those shoes. You know what I mean? At any given moment. So I think that's how we stay humble. We're not like trying to. We've just like been there, done that, bro. And I get how it is. Like I'm here to help you out in any way possible as like a brotherly human race. I'm
Mm.
not here to put anybody down or to hurt them or anything like that. We've all been those people back in our younger years when we were angry at the world and the
Yeah.
world was angry at us and stuff, but we're over that stuff now. We just want to uplift and stuff.
Yeah, and it really does come out because, like, to me, you are a very humble person, and how I see you interact with people at your shows, and like,
Mm-hmm.
you go say hi. You're not ever just like, I'm just here to rap and get out of here. So
Absolutely.
I see that in you. So that's
Yeah, man, like you got people after a show, like shout out to them having the courage to, bro, like real fans. But like, man, you got people rapping in your face after shows, like almost every goddamn show, bro. Somebody wants to come up and freestyle and like rap
right.
straight in your face and like, you know what I mean? It's like it's all love, you know what I mean? For the love of hip hop. It's all love, bro. That's why I stand there and listen. But like, you know what I mean? If it's like you come up to me being like, yo bro, like I really want to showcase my skills, I don't know if I'm gonna get another time, like you're having a face-to-face with me right now, just be like, get my address, come down. Like I'm not hard to find, bro. You can come right to the store and see me
Mm.
anytime you want to show me a rap or something like that when I have the time for it, and I'm
Right,
not
for
here
sure.
trying to like meet fans and entertain people. But like it's all love, man. People are gonna do it forever, and like
Yeah.
that's half the reason we're in this shit, bro, is to meet everybody and stuff. So like, yeah, this is your
Have you
official.
ever met somebody who like kind of blew you away with their verse, or not yet?
Uh, okay, like one of the reasons why like I never released music like for real around here, the whole like because I released it when I was 12 at school, showed some people, and I've been rapping my whole life since. The real reason that like I never like debuted or anything is because like Saskatoon rap has just like in general a bad name
Mm.
around here and stuff because it's like not a lot of cats either A are authentic, and maybe the ones who are don't know how to sound authentic behind a mic. They're, you know what I mean? Like lots of guys who are authentic who are like really out here doing some shit, you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna go, like they're too busy, they're really living
Mm.
it to like want to get in the booth, or like their homies don't have the kind of outlook to be like, yo, let's get serious and let's go pay for studio time and do this shit, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be dead ass, bro. I know way better rappers who you'll never hear of, who like, you know what I mean, live at the lighthouse, bro, that that could out rap guys that have fucking more followers than I do from here, you know what I mean? And like I'm not trying to hate. I'm just
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
facts, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bring this to Nas, bring it to M, bring it to Jay-Z. They're gonna tell you the same thing, bro. Like,
yeah.
some of these guys are trash. You know what I mean? And I just gotta say it because it's like I'm trying to put on for Saskatoon, and like I definitely think like Goontown and like me too, my own horn too, but like big BYXE, bro, like you know what I mean? Like I'm the best out of Saskatchewan that there's been, you know what I mean? Like I'll put that up against anybody, you know what I mean? And that's me saying that, and Capo and Stilly too. They're both going to be like, yeah, bro, I'm the best one here, and I'll put that up against anything. We all three of us have rhymes where we're like, and like shout out Caden too, like shout out Caden, bro. Like me, Stilly, and Capo have rhymes and have heard rhymes of Caden's that like make us go, damn, I gotta go write better. But like I've never heard anybody other than like maybe those guys that I mentioned there, like some gem and stuff like that. You know what I mean? like just Jem doesn't be like recording and rapping like that nowadays.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like that's more so judging up against stuff like from his battle days and that kind of stuff. But like there's not a lot of guys here that like, you know, that I think their pen could go anywhere near like our three pens, you know what I
Right.
mean? And that's a humble opinion but it's an honest opinion, you know what I mean?
No, that's man. You gotta be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
And like,
you know who I thought was gonna do big things was I don't know if you remember him, Filth, the Enabler.
oh bro, shout out Filth too. Like still used to rock with him back in the day and
Man, and he
shit.
just disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's been,
Yeah.
but
Filth's pen's nasty, bro.
his
I was gonna
voice,
say
man,
Filth's
and
pen's nasty,
and
bro.
his writing and his voice combined,
Yeah.
like his voice is unique, but he could also write really well.
Yeah.
His flow was so good,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of faded away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he started doing that other thing for a second there, lit face. They had like
Okay.
masks or something, bro.
Oh, really?
Like
Okay. I
I
didn't.
don't know. I seen it like a couple posts and then I never seen it again and I haven't heard from the guy in a long time. And like a lot of people I know like, you know, used to hang out with the guy and stuff and like, you know, shout out an old legend from Saskatoon, bro.
Mhm.
That guy could fucking rap, bro. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
And
guy
I,
could rap.
with Flatline and Big Haze too.
Yeah.
Were you ever a part of that 306 battleground?
Yeah, I went to 306 Battleground. I never
Okay.
rapped in it though.
Okay.
No, I
Okay.
never rapped. I went to Hayes's battle. I feel like I'd seen maybe one or two more too in person and stuff. Yeah, when Hayes battled Jaws there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I never seen any of them either, but just the what's on YouTube now.
yeah, yeah. The Hayes one I was at for sure, and I feel like we went to maybe one more, checked one out before we went to that one or something. But yeah, like shout out Dak one too, bro, and
Yeah, man.
everything he's been doing and stuff for their cause and stuff, man. Like that's
Yeah.
somebody who's like an inspiration and shit. If I'm being
Okay.
honest, bro, that guy, you know, come from Saskatoon, come from this fucking city and stuff, and then move himself out to the coast and stuff, and putting on for his people, putting on for his family and stuff. So like, shout out Dak for doing all of that. You know what I mean? Dakota Bear.
Hmm.
Yeah,
He's wicked too, man. Like I've known him a long time,
yeah,
and man, he's always just been super humble to me, super kind, super like just like down to earth.
hmm,
So to see him like move out there and do those kind of things and put on festivals even,
yeah,
it's wild.
yeah.
So wild.
No, it's good, and it's good for uh like every community. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's tapped into indigenous, indigenous community, you know, street community, like street culture, um, the business world and stuff. Like he's tapped
Mm.
in on so many different fronts and stuff, and it's just cool to see a dude from Saskatoon, you know what I mean, make it out of this shit and
Yeah.
you know make it into something positive. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a lot of guys from Stoon who have, you know, made a dollar here and there and made their way out west, but it wasn't always the nicest dollar, and it
Right.
wasn't for always the best reasons and stuff. And it's good to see a guy get like the right guy get into the right position and stuff and do the right things with the power in that position, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up to an hour here.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, man. So I think we'll call it here soon. But before we go, I just wanted to um kind of just like dive into like and maybe you don't, but maybe you do. Like, do you feel like you have how do I word this like like a meaning, like a message behind
Okay.
your music, or do you feel like it's like comes in seasons, or do you feel like it's like individual to each song, or do you feel like there's like an overlaying meaning that you just want to put into your music?
I mean, it's crazy because it's like, you know, like with Capo joining our crew and kind of like me and Stilly kind of like guiding him through the whole learning process and stuff of everything. Like, you know, you got to learn how to rap. Like, and not even that, he knew how to rap, but I mean, like, just the small nuances and like the refining it all and stuff, it kind of put me back through that, like going through it myself, like, oh, okay, I got to look at my writing like this, and like, okay, I
Right.
need to write consistently, and I need to like, it kind of put me back through all the check marks that you're supposed to be giving for yourself as an artist and stuff, and kind of reawakened that. And I mean, like, mm, it's hard for you to explain the question now. It's kind of hard for me to explain my answer and stuff. Like,
It's a deep question too.
yeah,
You
bro.
know,
Yeah, it's like,
there's a lot there.
okay, phrase it again one more time for me,
So it's
because
like
like,
when it comes to your music and like the meaning behind it.
okay, so like we were going through all the nuances, the skills and stuff, and then once I was like, okay, yeah, checking all these boxes for myself, it's like, okay, I'm a very skilled rapper, hip hop artist, but like, what the fuck is my message behind all of this skill? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing with the skills? What's the purpose of it and stuff? And I feel like I'm coming to accept that it's an everyday thing. It's not like I can be like, yo, my message when I was 12 trying to write a song to be cool at school
Right.
isn't the same message that I'm going to have when I'm 70 or 60 and I'm reflecting on things in my life and my children are grown and stuff. And like right now I feel like I'm in like the mix of it, you know what I mean? Like I'm building a business, building a brand, building, you know what I mean? And like going to all these different places and, you know, raising my children and building a partnership with my partner, and like, you know, I'm like in the midst of it right now.
Right.
And being in the midst of it, it's just like, I think I just came to the acceptance of that, like I am in the midst of it. I just have to kind of take every day with stride. Like if I'm feeling sad, it's time to write some sad shit. If I'm feeling angry, it's time to be on some angry shit and get like a big, like, you know, bassy beat and just be fucking obnoxious on it. And like if I'm feeling like calm, it's time to write a weed song. Time to grab a bag, sit down, smoke, and write a weed song. But like where I'm at in my life right now, and I'm sure you can attest to that, man. Young children, wife, business, trying to stay healthy, fitness, you know, it's like at any given moment I could be being pulled one way,
Mm.
and I just have to express myself as I feel. Like I don't think I have enough time in a week to like compartmentalize like my anger to like I need to do, you know, this tape or go get this out. It's just like I'll literally be at the store, have no inspiration, a customer will walk in and I might have not had a good interaction, and it's like I'm heated now. I'm this beat now, it's hitting different, and I'm writing and like shit, I got two verses, I put a chorus on it, the next day boom, there's a song, you know what I mean? But like the next day while writing the chorus I wasn't even angry anymore, you know what I mean? And like yeah,
Right.
it like I think you have I take it as it comes, like right now anyways, you know what I mean? I don't try to like be like, yo, I gotta go get like a street album out, or hey, I gotta go try
Right.
and get like a album about like my family out. I just kind of write it, you know what I mean, as I'm feeling it, and that's how I kind of deal with life too. You know what I mean? Take it one step at a time.
Yeah, I think that's a really good explanation. Cause
Word.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, as you were talking, I was like thinking, I was like running through that all, and like it makes sense because you know, like if you're in a stressful like part of your life, a
Mm-hmm.
stressful season, that's gonna come out in your music, obviously. Like there's no
Exactly.
way you can make a happy song when you're not happy,
Yeah.
you know? Or if
Exactly.
you're in like a peaceful season of your life, you're probably gonna make a little bit more chill music, you know? And that's like very interesting. Um
Got a good
not
example of it
yeah,
too.
not that I've made a ton of music,
Mm-hmm.
but like the music I have made, I kind of just like fit it to like what was being made,
Yeah.
you know? Because I've never had like the stretch of like making an album or making like a ton of music.
Where you kind of get to discover your own
Yeah.
sound, right?
Yeah. So that's
Yep.
kind of cool. That's very
100%.
interesting, man.
100%. And do you have like plans to like do that for yourself? You know what I mean? Even if like an EP, you know, to like
Yeah.
actually structure a project for yourself. You got plans for that ever?
I have thought about it. I just
Yeah.
haven't put the time or effort. because I was thinking of making like a, just like a small EP of like, and I just wanted it to be called Core Values, and
Oh
and just
yeah,
have
that's
like
dope.
a track list of like some of my core values,
Yeah.
and but like I just have never put any. I haven't just dove into it yet, but
You've got the resources around you though, you know what I mean? Like you've
yeah,
got the content coming from within, you've got the equipment, you've got engineers, producers,
yeah,
other rappers willing to fucking, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
yeah, it'd be cool to see what you come up with, man, what you piece together.
Maybe one day, maybe
Do it.
one day, man. Yeah, it's another one of those like we were talking about before we started, man. I just have all these ideas, all these things happening, and it's just like I just need to focus on a couple.
And I think that's why I explained my answer to that question like that. I knew that you would relate. Like, man, you have so many things on the go. You can't ever just pick a mode to be in. You're in
Yeah,
all of them at all the time. I think that's what makes like an entrepreneur, like, when your business doesn't have a lawyer, like you might have to be the lawyer that day. If you don't have an accountant, you might have to be the accountant that day. Like, you
yeah,
just wear every single hat that's around because they have to be worn. And like, yeah.
wicked, man. Well, honestly, man, it was awesome having you.
Yeah,
It was
brother.
awesome
Thank you
just
so
diving
much.
into your mind and like kind of just like picking into like the back part of your mind, and kind of getting to know
Yeah.
you a little bit deeper, man. It was fun.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Wicked. All right, well, let's wrap it up.
Yo, can I shout out real quick?
Of course, of
Yo,
course.
shout out Sandman, man. He's the fucking guy. Shout out. Come on to the podcast. Come talk about your shit, man. Say what's up. We want people to we want people to share their stories, and like I like hearing stories. Sandman's really good at fucking sharing stories, and he's good at like getting it out of you and stuff. So it's like, man, if he ever gives you the opportunity, get your ass on the podcast. Other than that, man, it's Big B out the YXE 345 Goontown Millennium. You already know, man. This shit's infinite.
And if you haven't been to their show, go. They put on an incredible show, an incredible performance. The vibe is always just like it's amazing. It's good. You guys put on a great show. So if you haven't been to their show, go. And they're doing more and more and more.
Yeah.
So there'll be opportunities and opportunities, opportunities. Go check them out.
Yes, sir. Goontown.